All right, all right. Well, well, well. We are back for another session of open court discussions. Myself, David Lorenzo Glover, aka the controversial counselor, and Herb Lewis, the big bad wolf. This past Monday, last Monday, we took off for some time for ourselves. Tonight, April 5th at 9 p.m., we will be discussing the topic dating complications. Remember the times when you can go out on a date and you actually had a good time, which led you to see that person again and again and possibly again? Well, now things have changed because people don't know what to ask or what to say when they are hanging out. We're also tonight going to discuss the results of the survey I put out. Are you ready for the next level? Remember to please like and share this video, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel, The Controversial Counselor. So, man, well, tonight we ain't gonna be on here that long because you know why. It's two reasons why. Number one, March Madness, the championship game is on, and I gotta watch the second half of that. Just have to. And number two, I got like a couple hundred kids to be in the building tomorrow. So I got to be extra alert because those seventh and eighth graders, oh, they ready to probably run amok since they haven't been in school in a year. So that's going to be interesting to see some familiar faces because my sixth graders, I seen them when I went out and did presentations, but I really don't know them can associate them by name and face. So it'd be interesting to see some seventh and eighth graders that I've seen in the building before. So tonight is not going to be that long. Of that, I can promise you. Herb, man, what's good? And what's your take on dating complications? Give me a brief statement on why you think dating is complicated in this day and age, especially when you're in the 40s and the 50s.
Well, as I left off Thursday's show, I got confirmation that the test she took at home was indeed positive. So, you know, we decided what we're gonna do in terms of cohabitating and potentially moving on down the line of marriage. So, you know, it is what it is, man. I can't change what it ain't. But blended families, kids, where you gonna live at? There's always a lot on a plate of an older individual when you're dating as compared to a younger individual. So you have that. People setting their ways, and this is something we hit on another show when I said, if you want to find out how somebody is, take a vacation with them, take a short vacation with them. And some people dissented, and I understand it works for me. It's always worked for me. In addition to, speaking to them about certain things, watch how they conduct themselves, particularly when you go out to eat and when you go places. Are they well mannered? Do they greet people nicely? Do they treat the staff properly? Things of that nature. So those are the things that work for me. I don't know about anyone else. Like I said, they're tried and true methods for me. People, they're free to do what they want to and trial and error and see what works.
That's interesting when you say well mannered and see how they are. And I guess there are some things you would think somebody in their 40s and 50s would know how to behave, but I guess there's some that could be loud, just rude, and may not want to leave a tip or may want to argue back and forth with the waiter or the waitress. It may be a turnoff to you. And I know some people say, where do you meet these people at? I don't have any friends like that. I don't know anyone who would behave like that. But you know what I say about those folks who seem to stretch their imagination and live in a utopian society, I guess. All right, we got some ladies in the studio that I'm going to bring in, and I'm going to bring them in briefly. Then I'm going to go over the results of the survey, which is going to open up some of the discussion for this subject matter. Girly girl, how you doing? All right.
Look like she's plugging in.
You can hear us?
Oh,
All right.
okay.
Y'all can't hear me?
Yeah, I can
No,
hear you.
when he asked you, yeah, you didn't respond, so we weren't sure if you heard him or you were plugging in.
I said hi. You
Oh,
didn't
we
hear
hear
me?
it. Uh-uh.
Hi.
We hear. Hello. Kia, how you doing?
Well, how's everyone doing?
Hey.
I heard
Do I
some. Did I
need to
hear
put a
some good
hat on?
news? Huh?
Do I need to put a hat on?
Why not? I said let's join the party. That's all I'm saying.
I feel a little out of place. Hold on.
Let's join the hat party.
Y'all might not have enough arsenal for me and her with the hat game.
Dave was leaps and bounds ahead of me. I'm just getting my sea legs, as they say.
I switched it up.
Yeah, I see. Scorpio T, what's happening?
What's good? What's good? What's good? No hats for me.
I hear you. All right, so I'm gonna give y'all a chance to briefly state. I mean, I know Scorpio T that you're married and all that stuff, but just if you wasn't married, we're just gonna go down the line. What do y'all think some of the complications are in dating, especially when you're in your 40s and 50s? Because it's a grave concern from some people. I see it a lot of times on social media and just talking to some friends, and they always talk about like it's treacherous out there in this dating world.
I think it gets easier personally. I mean, way easier than when I was younger. You're dealing with, I mean, if you're fortunate, you're dealing with grown people. You're not dealing with boys, you're not dealing with girls. You know, you're dealing with grown folks that hopefully have steady jobs and they have goals and they're reaching them, or they're trying to reach them, and you just don't have all that extra. You know, you don't, chances are you don't have children to deal with because they're grown. You know, you might have some grandkids or something in the mix, but for me personally, I think it's easier.
All right.
So,
Lakia.
Well, I guess I'll say my experience is a little different. I think it's tougher. I think men, as you get older, men and women get set in our ways to where we're not as flexible. I think when we're young, for me, I would say I was a little more naive. I was more flexible. Even thinking about the younger guys, like I think they were easier. You know, they were so open to wearing the same outfits. Like if you wanted to wear like matching shirts, or look all cute together, it was easier. Now, man, I'm not doing nothing like that. It's just different. It's just different all around for me, especially. And to be honest, even after my divorce, I didn't know how to date. I didn't understand. I didn't know. I'm gonna be honest. I was very unaware of how the times were because I was not in the dating scene for so long. So it was a little weird for me. And still, my experience has been men are more set in their ways and not willing to bend.
Yeah.
All right. Scorpio T.
I don't know. I think it's still 50-50. Yeah. I don't think that dating has ever been, I don't think I've ever considered it to be easy. Primarily because it's time consuming, and you're always looking to figure out if this person is who they say they are, and this is a lot. It takes a lot of energy. It takes a lot of energy. So I don't know. When you're young, you don't know a lot, and when you're older, you know a lot. So they can work. It can be hard either way.
Okay.
That's it. I don't have nothing valuable.
Okay. Well, still some good information. Gwendolyn. Look like you smoking that ale or whatever you do.
She's close.
Look,
Yeah.
promising.
Oh, well, no, there you go. Oh, yes, he's buffering. Sorry.
It looks good.
Well, Brolic T, what's your take? And I know you're married and all, but prior to that, what's your take on the complexities or complications of dating in your 40s and 50s?
Um, it is definitely more challenging now. You're older, you're more set in your ways. And even so, with like me being married, like when I met my husband, I was set in my ways, and my husband is very set in his ways. So we had a difference on opinion about a few things. And my husband is one of those people, he does not believe in compromise very much. So I always have to get creative in getting the things that I want when I really want something, and knowing when to yield and just say, you know what, it ain't even worth it. But as far as dating goes, dating was much easier because, back then, men were more willing to learn a woman and what her wants and her desires were. And if it was something that was along the lines of what they wanted, it made things easier. Whereas now, most men are like, I am who I am and I want what I want. And either you meet my standards or there's a whole bunch of other women out there. So, kind of where it is.
Yeah, and for me, I'm gonna say, I don't know. See, back in the days when we were younger, it seemed like it used to be in conjunction with your friends. So it was always for me someone that I might have been familiar with, and it was just like a big circle. Like if I was talking to this girl, then one of my buddies or whatever might have been talking to a friend. So it was like we was all like in one big cluster. And when you ventured off and dated someone outside the circle, those relationships was kind of difficult because you had to bring them in the circle, and then you had to acclimate them with the crew and all that stuff. And sometimes they'll accept it, and sometimes they wouldn't, and so you always had to make decisions. And I can remember dating someone and just trying to isolate myself with them, and my boys would come looking for me. Like, what are you doing, man? Like, you fell in love or whatever? I'm like, yo, chill. Like, but that's how we used to roll. And I don't know. And nowadays, whatever, when you take care of children, work, some people school, or in different endeavors, sometimes it's hard to even get on that same communication line because everything seems to have to be scripted. Like, listen, I don't have time to go through all of this process because I'm constantly moving, constantly got things going on. So I think sometimes that impact as you get older, that time commitment piece.
Yeah.
Gwendolyn said, do you have a number I can call to be on the panel? No, I haven't. Well, I haven't really activated the call-in feature again because that's just another thing to have to monitor. So I'm sorry I don't have that available this evening.
No, I'm just laughing.
I'm gonna need you to get that available right away.
I'm laughing. I'm
It's
laughing
there.
at LeBake. Wisconsin says, I don't know who's showing the age right now, my mother or David, because she agrees with them.
Who said that?
LeBaker. LeBaker said from the comment section on Facebook, you may not be able to see this if you're following the stream on YouTube. She says, I don't know who's showing the age right now, my mom or David, because she agrees with them, meaning that.
Meaning that I'm wise and your mother is wise. That's how I take it. Brolic T. All right, so I'm gonna
Somebody
go
know who that is.
Yeah. I'm gonna go through the survey right quick, and it kind of came from this book. I don't know if any of you read it. I enjoyed the read. All the Rules by Ellen Fine and Sherry Schneider. Probably two middle-aged white women just giving their views, pretty much how to date to end up getting a husband. instead of just dating to be dating. And they had certain rules that they said you should follow. And I always, I thought it was interesting, some of the things that they put out there. So with the survey, the first question was on date 4, your conversation should be based on A, work and religion or family, marriage, commitment, or relationship. That's B. C, sex fetish or favorite positions. And D, favorite sports, TV shows, and movies. And as far as the participants, this particular survey, they said 50% of the people said work, religion, and family. And then 20% said marriage and commitment. And then 20% said favorite sports or TV shows. And 10% said sex fetishes and favorite positions. Damn freaks.
You're right.
All right. So with that, anybody got anything they want to add to question number 1? Anything stands out for you on that?
Finances.
Finances should be so that should be by date number 4. You should be talking finances.
Absolutely.
Nobody's answering that by date number 4, I promise you.
So Herb, how do you go into that on the date finances?
What are your long-term financial plans? The way I get in that is asking if they invest, and if they say yes, what are you investing in? Because I'm looking to diversify my portfolio, and that's how you bridge that conversation. You're not actually. A lot of people take it as an invasive question, and any question is invasive if you don't know how to phrase it. This is why I always mention your utility belt. What's in your utility belt? Do you have icebreakers? Do you know how to breach a topic, whether it's sensitive or just benign? Do you know how to start that conversation down that road? What are your feelings on kids? What are your feelings on blended families? Do you know how to start that conversation by allowing the person to be at ease? Because most people on dates, they're apprehensive. Me, I'm free flowing. I'm like a water fountain. You turn me on and I'm there. So whatever happens, I'm cool with it. Short of somebody running and shooting up the place, so then I got to start taking action depending on where I am, which is why I don't like to sit with my back to the door. I want to see who's coming in. And I'm sure Anita probably understands a bit about that as well. But a lot of people, first of all, a lot of people need to be comfortable in their own skin enough to be comfortable with any topic that might be breached. Because if you're apprehensive, that's going to show in your response. It's going to show in how you speak, whether you're thinking or the information just comes out. I mean, if somebody were to ask you where you stay at, you wouldn't have any problem saying, I stay in such and such address. I'm this, I'm that, I drive this, I drive that. In my case, I don't own a car, ride a bike. But those type of things are you comfortable within yourself enough to have those conversations? And if you're not, then my question would be, well, why are you dating? Are you dating for, as some of the respondents answered to the quiz? Are you dating just for sex? Are you dating for a long-term goal, short-term goal, or just to have somebody there to cuddle with at night? Everybody's end game is going to depend on how you breach certain topics in dating.
All right. Anybody else? Anything stands out with that question?
I don't know. If I'm going to discuss my finances with anybody, I'm going to do them at my pace. You can ask the question, but you may get a very vague answer because I'm still trying to figure out if you're somebody that I want to go on another date with. And if you're not, then, that's information that you won't get from me.
So, okay, Scorpio T, let me ask you this question. Do you invest at all in the stock market, precious metals, anything like that? Bitcoin, since Bitcoin seems to be the rage, Ethereum. Do you invest at all?
Yes, I do.
What percentage? They say the standard is you should invest, say 10, 20%. Are you around that marker?
I am not going to answer that.
Okay, that's fine. And that would be somebody I wouldn't continue to date.
See, I have a husband, and my business
Scorpio,
is his business, so I like
no,
to
no, no,
keep
no, no, no,
our
no, no,
business to us.
no. Hold on, Scorpio T. I'm
Yes,
just using this as a teaching moment. I'm not. It's not.
I know that.
Okay.
I know that. But what I'm saying in that response is at some point, if you okay, so if you end up being the person that I decided that, okay, all right, he's date worthy, he's whatever have you, then those are questions you won't have to ask, because I will say, listen, come sit down, let me tell you what my plans are. You wouldn't have to ask. But if I feel like, if I'm still unsure about you and you ask that question, then I'm going to be feeling like we won't be having enough thing. Let me move at my pace, just like I would allow him to do.
All right. Brolic, Brolic T, did you have your hand up?
Yes,
I said, I said, did you have your hand up?
I did have my hand up.
All right, go ahead.
So basically, to answer that question about finances, I'm in agreement with Scorpio T. If you're somebody who I seriously am entertaining, you won't even have to ask that question, because I'll just tell you, these are what my plans are. This is what I do, because I want to be on the same page. But if I feel like, and like I said, I know within 5 minutes whether somebody I want to entertain. So if I entertain you enough to go on a date with you, that's because I'm interested in you. And when I ask questions and you're reluctant to answer those questions, well, that tells me, well, maybe this might not be somebody who I might want to consider having as a lifelong partner. And then from there, it becomes, well, what category do I want to put you in? Do I want to keep you as a friend who I may call and check on every now and then? Or do I just want to cut my life at the door?
That's just funny to me. Whatever.
I mean, it's the truth. I
Right,
mean,
because
now, no, because let's put it in perspective. You put a post in the corner about women having 4 different men. When all actuality, that's not women. That's men that have those 4 different women behind them. You got that wife or that girlfriend that does everything. You have the one who you can call for money when you broke. You have that one that you call that you bitch to about everybody. And then you just had that one that when you feeling horny in the middle of the night, you know she gonna answer the phone. Women don't have that option, because if we had that option, we wouldn't have all these men running around talking about how women ain't shit and don't date single mothers and all that. We wouldn't have these discussions at all. We would be having totally different discussions. So let's not go there and act like that's really an option or it's really like that. For some women, it is. But for a mass majority, that is not true at all.
Now
So let's just put that out there.
I wanted to piggyback on something you said about your interest, or you wouldn't have went out. Shit, I thought in my experiences that women, it don't matter if you're interested or not. If it's a meal, hey, we can make it happen.
are
Hell
you
no, I
serious?
can treat myself to our own meal. I can treat myself to, most women will treat ourselves to our own meal and a better meal than any man could ever offer. I hate to break it to you, but if we actually agree to go out on a date and we let you pick the place, it's because we're really interested in you. It's because we're really
Well,
interested
I'll say
in
this
you.
much.
Like,
I'll say this much, Dave. I'll say this much. Back in the day, people ask you on a date, you decline, you decline, you decline. You keep playing with me, you're gonna be spending your money, because I've told you no 22 times. So if you're insistent, all right, we're gonna have a free meal. Your fault, because you should have left me alone when I said no. So,
If I could
I'm just
chime
being
in.
honest.
Okay, I'm sorry. I thought you done. I wanted to chime in a little bit on both. I like what you said, Brolic T, about um, how men usually do have those options. They do have the one that they consider wifey, and then the one they consider, their little homegirl, but homie lover friend. Then they have the one that they go to. And unfortunately, they probably having sex with all 3 of them, or 3 or 4 of them in different times. And that is true. I do believe that wholeheartedly. Secondly, about meals. Well, when you're dating, people want to take you out to eat. So if I'm free and I have nothing to do and I'm home, I'm like, I didn't cook. And they say, hey, can I take you out? Sure, let's go have conversation. I don't think there's nothing wrong with having some conversation. My presence is you have to pay for my presence anyway, so pay for my meal. Not that there have been times that I have paid for my meal myself and didn't let them know because I did that on purpose because I want them to know that their money is useless to me so I can pay for my own meal. So there's times I've let them pay and there's times I've slipped the money to the waitress and say, here, I got this. You know what I mean? This is for me. You know what I mean? For mine, because I don't have, I'm doing that to prove a point that I allowed you to, to be in my presence. But at the same time, I enjoyed the conversation, the entertainment, whatever it was. At that time, I allowed it to happen, but it was just to get out the house, to get a meal, whatever, just conversation. So I don't think there's anything wrong with
Mhm,
that.
mhm. All right.
I mean, just being honest, because
I
some
Anita.
men
think
feel
I like
that
to
entitled.
eat. I like to
I
eat.
think that boy, I tell you, I always hate to admit this. I kind of agree with Herbert a little bit. I don't have a problem talking finances with somebody because I think I will want to know up front. Um, and if you have it together, I think there's a way to answer that question without saying, "Oh, I got 100 grand in the bank," or whatever. But I think I would want to know that right up front. I wouldn't want to meet someone and be interested in them and then find out that they're dead ass broke and now they just like me because they think I have something. Um,
And that's the reason why I feel
I'm
some type
just
of way about
well,
answering that
I guess why I don't
question.
have a problem answering it is because you're not getting it anyway. So I can tell you all day I got $1 million sitting in the bank. You ain't getting it. So and I am a firm believer that people show you who they really are. If you give them enough time, they'll show you who they really are. So stuff like that, especially the older I get and the more stable I feel in my finances, my job, my life, I don't necessarily have a problem telling people that I have made plans for my future and my retirement. That really should be enough said without me saying, "Oh, I got $5 million sitting in the bank." That I am
Hmm.
forward thinking and that I'm trying to make sure that I'm set, for my future. But I do kind of agree with him. If that subject came up and somebody backed off away from it, I might I might not go as far as saying I would never go on another date with you, but it would put me on notice that either you think I'm after your money because that might make a person shut down, or you don't have any money. So it could go one or two ways. So I think I would continue, if I liked him enough, I would continue to see him because eventually those things tend to show themselves. They just do. You can't hide that, forever unless you're really skilled. So I'm all about being open and upfront. It doesn't bother me anymore. I can't even say it bothered me back when I was younger, but I find it much easier um, now than I did back then because I guess I was looking for something different in a man back then than I am now. So
All right, all right. Anita, how you doing?
Hi, good. How are you?
All right. So you heard a lot. You want to add to this question?
Yeah, I think. Wait, what was the question so I can answer it accordingly?
All right. Let me pull up on
I
my
mean, we
phone.
talked about a lot of stuff. Is it date 4?
No, yeah, it's the date. Yeah, it's the date for. We're talking about the date for. No,
Yeah,
Herb mentioned about finances, bringing up
right. He had
finances.
asked
Yeah.
he of the original question he asked, he gave 4 responses, and people selected accordingly. And then he asked, "Was there anything else that anybody else would like to add?" And I said, "Finances."
Oh, finances. Well, I agree with a little bit of everybody. It depends. I guess it would depend on my comfort level and how forthcoming he is with the information in casual conversation. I'm not just going to disclose. I've learned not to just disclose anything so soon. So
Okay.
that's my answer.
All right.
But on the same, on the same level, I don't want somebody that's not financially stable enough for us to do fun things. I got my own money. I can take myself out, but I'd like to have somebody that's financially stable enough if I'm going to continue to date them.
Okay.
That's my answer.
All right, so I'm gonna move on to question 2, and this we're gonna phrase it in both ways. You should never give a man, or I guess, or woman, the third degree about his previous or her previous relationship. It's a true or false. So 70% said true, and 30% said false. Be interesting to know why they said false. Don't know that, but what's your take on giving someone a third degree about their previous relationships? And people could say, "Oh, I don't matter. I don't care what they did in the past," but we know that those conversations come up, and sometimes jabs are being thrown in certain things that impact future results. So, what's your take on that?
Well, I don't think anybody should be punished for their past because everybody has a path that they learn from and they have to go through. So what already happened in the past with somebody else's with that relationship with him and her, I can't change anything. But it's interesting to know what they did go through, like what his triggers are. Also, if I'm the kind of person like her, not saying that she was bad, but everybody's different. That might not be my type in the long run. So if he's saying, I like a clingy woman, and she was not affectionate enough, and I'm not a clingy woman, then I'm going to be like, okay, that's cool. We're just not meant to be. But so I think it is important to know what has transpired, what led him to the path he's on now, and what he learned along the way, how mature he is, and if he learned anything along the way about women and the kind of mate that he wants.
Okay. Anybody else want to add to that?
Oh, but I wouldn't give him the third degree like you picked a bum ass woman and this and that, because that's none of my business what happened in his, that was his choice, not my choice to tell him what kind of person to choose.
Okay.
I think there's a time and a place for everything, and eventually you will have a discussion maybe of that type. But a third degree, I don't know about that. I'm not gonna let anybody third degree me. So you know what I'm saying? Now we can discuss this, we can whatever, but third degree that's a whole nother class for me. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't mind discussing, past relationships, what I learned, what I did wrong, where I went wrong, where the relationship was. That doesn't bother me. But I just feel like I don't even feel like. I just think that you're not gonna don't third degree me. Ask the questions that you want to know the answer to, and be prepared to understand that the answer you think you get may not be the one you get. Just like if I ask the questions, the answers I think I'm going to get may not be. Now, some things you might need to know. You might need to know he was a woman beater or she was a man beater in her previous relationship, because you might need to know what he might just turn into Ike Turner at one point. So you have to get that piece of steel. So there's some questions that you do need to know the answer to about past behavior. Not necessarily the past individual, but you definitely need to ask some questions. But as far as the third, and when you do that matters. I'm not, listen, if I think if you're not that guy for me, some questions I'm just not asking because I already know you're not that guy for me. So there's no point in playing that game with you. Now you could be my friend, we can be friends, that's fine. But some questions I'm just not gonna ask if you're just not that guy to me.
So
Sorry.
this is interesting. So, and I've heard this a couple of times. This theme that the dating thing, and then all of a sudden you relegate the person to say, Because somebody said, I don't know if it was you, Brolic T said, "Oh, we could be friends." Somebody, I could check on you here and there. Who signs up for that? If I'm trying to go at you, I don't want that role of we could just be friends. I'm gonna call and check
There's
on
nothing
you and all
you can
that.
do about that.
Hell no.
What's wrong with
No.
that?
There, let me tell you
No.
What's
something.
wrong with that?
There is nothing. Listen, Dave.
I think
There
I
is
think a
nothing
lot
you
of
can do
people
about
have.
that.
I think a lot of people have just forgotten how to date. Everybody is so quick to get to the prize, whatever that is, that they just don't take the time to actually date. You know, to get to know one another, to feel comfortable for all of these conversations and questions to come up. Everybody is so quick to think, is he marriage material? Is she marriage material? Can I sleep with her? Can I sleep with him? That people just forgot how to date. It's supposed to be an enjoyable experience. You get to go out with someone new and do new things. And I think people have just gotten to the point where they just want to know. They want to speed date. They want to ask those 15 questions, you know, and just move on. And, you know, this man or this woman might not be the person for you, but the experience can still be an enjoyable one. You know, you might come across a good man or a good woman. They just might not be the good man or the good woman for you in particular for any reason, you know. But I think that if you just take your time, you know, and slow down and just enjoy the experience, most people will, you know, open up and tell you most things that you want to know. I agree with everybody else. I wouldn't give anybody the third degree on their past unless they're just, actually, if somebody made me feel that way, I would probably take a step back. You know, if his phone was ringing and, you know, somebody was beating on his door talking about let me in, you know, act like, you know, it's some crazy women out there. You know, I might, you know, don't, I think all of us women can say we don't want to deal with no baby mama drama. And I don't want to deal with no, you know, no crazy man that's, you know, stalking, you know, the mother of his children. And like, you know, it goes both ways with both sexes. I don't want to deal with that. You know, I dated somebody that was being stalked by an ex, and that it just was not fun. It killed the whole mood for everything, no matter what. So those types of things, yes, I would want to know, but I wouldn't grill anybody about it. I've learned to listen to my red flags, and if something don't sit right with me or feel right with me, I'm old enough now where I will just move on, you know, and won't feel bad about it, you know. So,
All right.
Well, I was gonna also say this, Dave. In reality, men put women in the friend zone, women put men in the friend zone,
for
and
sure.
really,
Yep.
there's nothing you can do about it but choose to be a friend or not. You know why?
Yep.
Because no matter what you say and do, if they don't view you in a particular fashion, you're just gonna be
It's just
locked
not gonna
into
happen.
the right. It's not gonna happen. Also,
So let me
doing
let me say this. So now you to put me in the friend zone. I want you bad as hell. And now I'm relegated to friend zone, and you're like, yeah, me and Marcus had a good time out, and I'm supposed to listen to that. Hell
Nope.
no,
I'm not talking about be that kind of friend. No, I'm not talking about be that kind of friend.
Wait a minute.
I would never be that friend that I would talk about other relationships too. If I know that you want me that bad, I would never rub something like that in your face, because that's just cruel.
Yeah.
And only
I
men are
also
cruel like
said
that. Women are not.
You said only men do that?
Yes, men are cruel like that. Women are not.
So,
Woo-wee.
Well,
I
let me
said
not
you
speak
have
for all women. I'm not.
I second that.
you have a choice.
Well, you know, I think that I'm not saying that you should say that you have details of what's going on with your dating life with another man, but I think it's good to let a man know that they're not that they're not the only one interested in you, because most men want something that's wanted. They don't, I think they appreciate
Women too.
and I believe it's egotistical in a way where because like, you know, who wants someone that's not wanted? You know, oh, she ain't nothing. If somebody has something bad to say about her or nobody's paying her any attention, then yeah, you know, I believe he devalues. That's a devalue to men sometimes. But when they see that they're valuable and they're wanted and they're a hot commodity, they're like, hey, I show up with this woman on my arm. You know, they're gonna think something good about this because this is a good woman. This woman is well desired, and I think it's okay to share that to a degree, just to let them know, stay on your toes, because just like men have options, we have options too.
Girl, you
Exactly.
can take a man and dust him off and dress him up, shave that beard, get him all nice and cute. And as soon as you step out the house, every woman is
Lord.
like, oh,
Right.
oh.
Everybody want him now. He look
You know?
real good now.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
that go both ways. Yeah,
It does.
absolutely.
It truly does. Yeah.
Yeah.
But so I wouldn't shave the beard. I'd keep that.
Me too.
I'm
I'm with you on that one.
Oh yeah,
Awkward.
sweat Ronald Isley beard now. All of a sudden, now he fine as wine. Everybody.
I
I've been
ain't
a
say that.
beard
Not with
woman
his
all
face.
my
So
life.
I don't know about that one.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
was gonna
man.
say also in response to what Rebecca said, I do think you should enjoy your dating experience. But there's new things I can do all by myself. I don't need
Yes.
necessarily someone to do this with me. Sometimes it's nice, and sometimes it's, you know, I'm better on my own. But you should enjoy that. But it depends on why you're dating. If you're dating in terms of looking for marriage, then you date differently. If you're dating to have fun, you date differently. So your reason why for dating matters. You know what I'm saying? I was perfectly happy by myself. I was single, doing everything I wanted to do with no problem. And out the clear blue, I don't know where my husband came from. Came out the clear blue. Next thing I know, I'm like, well, shucks, shoot, not shoot. So, so the reason for the reason why you're dating matters.
But hold up, shouldn't no matter what it is, it should always be fun at the beginning?
It should be fun
It should
throughout.
always be fun.
It should be fun throughout, not just in
Yeah.
the beginning. Like
Right.
it should be fun
Stay
throughout.
consistent. Stay
And
consistent.
and my thing is this,
Exactly.
like
Who wants to go on a date and be mad
Like-
as hell? Like just mad at each
Yeah.
other,
Who
growling
wants
at
that?
each other.
Don't nobody want that.
not at all. Nobody wants that.
Don't nobody want that.
You angry at me if shit. If the person I'm dating is angry at me, we ain't going on no damn date.
Yeah.
We ain't going on no date at all. We gonna cancel that and rain check it for another day. Cause I'm certainly not going out with you having some feelings
Right.
on your chest for you to blow up on me in public. Pass.
Yeah.
Her, did
Table
you have
that,
your hands up?
table that for another day.
No. I was just raising my hand, but I do what, and I always preface something like this. It might be me, and I would say, because I'm a different cat when it comes to a lot of things. I don't walk the beaten path. What I can't figure out, and I'm just listening to everybody speak their individual stories and testimony, is this: how does a person actually even get to the point of you agreeing? And I'm just terming this in a general way. How does a person even get to the stage of you agreeing to date them, or even just to go out on an excursion with them? Because my whole point is this: if you have to curtail what you do as a free individual because you're dating somebody, then that's a person you don't want to date. And that's why I'm adamant about not changing certain things that I do. I like sports. Some things I watch, some things I'd rather partake in. If I have to stop doing those things because another individual that's in my life doesn't like to do them, then I don't need to be with that person.
I think
Right,
it
but
comes
that's
down
where
to
Nobody
But
should
that's
want to
where
be with somebody
compromise
who they
comes
have to
in.
stop their life for. Like
when-
that's the
It's
whole
not
point.
even.
I think
It's not even
it comes with the
compromise.
conversation and dating. The more you date somebody, hopefully, if you're lucky, you find a common interest. When me and my boyfriend first started dating, and I guess we weren't actually official. We just both happened to realize that we both like to fish. that ended up being our first date. He took me out on his boat, and it wasn't really called a date. He just asked me if I wanted to go fishing, and I said yes. And we ended up spending the entire day out on the lake. And because it was just the two of us, we had no choice but to talk to each other. And the conversation went down so many different lanes. And we learned so much about each other, having a great time. And the more he came up and spent time with us, he never said, you know, do you want to go with me like you did when we were in the 8th grade? We just ended up, it was quite obvious that we were a couple, you know, after so much time. It was never officially discussed like, you know, I'm with you, you with me, but it was quite obvious. And I think that comes with the joy of dating. And you realize now you're somebody that is compatible to me, and vice versa, you know. Let's kind of do this. And we became exclusive. And I'm sure months later, we had the discussion, you know, that neither of us was seeing anybody else. We're seeing each other. And at that point, it was kind of an unspoken thing, you know, we're officially dating. But I just think, you know, if you keep talking to a person enough and enjoying the time together, that, you know, you just kind of ease your way into it.
And I think that's a valuable point that you said, Rebecca, aka Girly Girl. That sometimes it just transition into that. You don't have to have that scripted thing, that application. Okay, it's been 4 months. Are we together or not? Or whatever the case is. Some things is just a natural progression, and it just ends up that way. No stress, no pressure, no expectations, and things just happen, and you're like, wow, it's amazing. Like, it's amazing. Then you sit back and you say, damn, when did we officially start going together? Like, you wouldn't even know, because things just happen that way. But if you always on checking the boxes off and trying to figure out, like, okay, we've been together 28 days, 9 hours is 6 minutes. Like, what's good? Where do we go from here? I don't know how that's gonna work. I just don't know. Like we say, expectations, failed expectations lead to resentment in a lot of cases. So that's just that. I'm gonna move
Well, I
on to
believe
the
in
next.
having a discussion. We're going to talk about it, and we're going to agree upon it. There's no
I think we should,
assumptions for me.
right. I think we should have that conversation. I would
Most
like to know if we're
definitely.
exclusive or we're not exclusive, because
Exactly.
there's too much like gray areas with some people. And if it's never, well, you know, they have these small talk conversations. Well, you know, I love you, but you know, I'm just not ready yet. You know, I don't want any gray areas. I like to have some black or white. I'm not into the gray.
I
Yeah.
agree. I
I
don't
don't
like
want
to
to,
read somebody's mind. Either it's we're headed that way, we're exclusive, you got other people that you're dealing with, or it's just me.
Yeah.
I like clarification.
My line is this.
definitely.
My
I like
line is this, and it's from
saying,
Poetic Justice. I ain't in the line of keeping nobody that don't want to be kept. So if you
You're
don't
not
want to be
supposed to be.
kept,
That's not even it.
if you don't want to be kept, it will be revealed. As my grandmother was saying, I'm gonna say this. It probably come up every week. You go one way and let me go the other way, and that's the end of story. Bottom line.
I mean,
And I
and
agree with
again,
you.
I think it was just in this particular relationship, it was just one of those things where it just flowed like that. You know, I'm not saying that having confirmation isn't a good thing, because at some point it did get confirmed. I can remember changing my relationship status, you know, on Facebook, or introducing him, and just kind of like, can I introduce you as my boyfriend? And he was like, absolutely. You know, so I think it was just one of that particular relationship just flowed so naturally that some of those confirming conversations didn't necessarily have to be had. But I have had relationships where you know, I was just like, you know, who that? You know,
You know,
who am I?
that's a
You
good
know, I'm
question.
not
Like,
saying I ain't never been there because I have. And
yeah.
so, yes, of course, I would want some confirmation. But even in that particular relationship, I was backing out because if I really got to ask you who that, I'm not trying to be a part of that harem anyway. But you know, I don't hold it against anybody for wanting confirmation because there were plenty of times in that very good relationship that I needed some things confirmed. Not necessarily us as a couple, but I needed confirmation on some things. And so there's nothing
Listen,
wrong with answering those
there's
questions.
nothing wrong with confirmation.
Yeah,
Marriage is the
absolutely.
ultimate confirmation, but is
Yeah.
it final? It is not.
Yeah.
It's
Well, let me
not.
ask this question. What does the panel think about changing statuses on Facebook?
I changed
Like,
mine.
Trash.
let's talk
Trash.
about that.
Why is it
Trash it.
trash?
I
Trash it.
changed mine.
Yeah,
So
trash it.
I don't
I
care.
think, yeah. Why
Why,
is
I
that?
don't need
though?
all that. I don't
Yeah,
need all
trash
that.
it. Yeah,
That
trash it.
don't mean nothing
Some
at
people
the end of
Trash
don't
the
want
it.
day.
people all up in their
'Cause
business,
Trash
but
it.
I didn't have a problem with it.
Because you don't
I
even
think
have to
it's
put
good.
single or whatever the case on
You
there.
don't have to do
You don't even
anything.
have to
exactly.
put that on there so they don't know whatever. Trash it.
But
Straight
that,
Do you?
trash it.
nah, I think it's okay to do that. I mean, that way, like,
What
everybody
is it going to
knows.
stop? What is it going to stop?
It ain't gonna stop nothing because if a man or woman decide that they want to go out there in the
No.
streets and find them somebody else, that Facebook status did not stop them from cheating. So
But
it
I
has
didn't post
No,
it
absolutely
that's
to
no
get
no, that's
bearing
anything to
That's
in
stop
true.
this
anything.
no,
work.
that
It
It
doesn't
that's
stopped
stop
not what
when I
nothing.
I'm.
Yeah,
posted
All
it.
you did
Facebook,
was inform
it's
the
not
world that
bond.
you
It's
got
not
Yeah,
married,
bond
all I
because
and
did.
you put in
okay.
there.
But
It's
you
All
not
can
I
do
did.
bond.
that in a text, an
Yeah.
email, or for all those who matter the most that you invited to your wedding. It's really not that important at the end of the day.
Mm-mm.
I
It
don't.
doesn't
I don't.
change
But I don't
anything.
have a problem with it.
Yeah,
It
I
don't
don't
bother
have
me
a
none.
problem with it. It'll just let my guy friends know on Facebook that I'm not available if they
That
thought I was
shit
Once I
available.
don't
start
mean
dating, those
nothing.
that are interested in me already know I found somebody I'm serious with. You could lose my number. That's that. I don't
Yeah,
need to
that
put
would
on
be more
Facebook that I'm
effective
in a
telling
relationship.
them.
We've
That would be
already
more
had that
No,
effective.
phone
yeah, no,
call
I
where I'm with
agree,
somebody
but I can't.
experienced, and that's
I
that.
can't
Okay, it's too
tell.
many
I
of
can't
y'all
text
talking at the same
everybody.
time.
Sorry.
It's too many people talking at the same time. I'm trying really hard to follow, and I'm getting lost. And too many people at the same
In my
time.
case, personally, I've been single for a long time out of a long-term relationship. So I have a lot of my family and friends on there that would be happy for me. Not
So
necessarily
you need
guys.
validation.
I don't know if it would be considered validation, but just like my friends and my family would be happy for me. Oh, she finally got somebody to bring to the family gatherings. Yay. So she don't have to.
Right. Right. I
So
don't think it's
so
valid. It's not just validation. No. Let me just share
Right.
these
I was
couple of
about to
thoughts
say
that I
that.
I
have. That's
ain't
why I brought it
checking for
up.
that.
Because the
I'm really
reason
not
why
checking for that. Y'all on the time limit. Y'all got 37 minutes.
I agree
The
37
with
score
minutes.
is
I
Anita.
don't have. I
31-14.
don't have
I
that
see it.
long. I'll be leaving soon. I'll be leaving sooner tonight than normal.
Yeah.
So I might not
My
have
thought
37
is
minutes.
okay, so my thought is it's in the middle. I do think that okay, why it's nobody's business. The only people that matter are the people that matter that to know. I do agree with that. But then there's a little spark in me that said I just need to let these people know. I'm now you done messed up. I'm taken. Maybe that's just me. I just want them to know. I want those that are still trying to DM and still trying to get my attention to widely know it's taken. That's where I think maybe that's just me. I'm
Not
just
gonna stop it. That's not gonna stop anybody from
Yeah.
sliding in your inbox.
I
Yeah.
promise you it's not.
true.
I
Straight,
promise
Which is
you
true.
it is
straight,
Which is
not.
straight, straight
I
Yeah,
applaud.
hogwash.
might be
I
her
Straight
applaud
moving
those
hogwash.
fast.
who do it, and I'm not knocking anybody who do it, but I know from experience that doesn't stop anything. So
no, it doesn't. It
Exactly.
doesn't.
Exactly.
You're right
As a
about
matter of
that.
fact,
Boy,
in some cases,
it track them
you
more.
become more
Yeah,
appealing. You
yeah, that's
become
true.
more
That's true.
appealing to them because you don't have the same expectations that somebody that's not married would have. So you become a little
Exactly.
bit more appealing. For me, I could take it or leave it. It really doesn't make that big a difference to me. My only thing, I won't even say issue, is that both of them need to match. If you single, I'm single on Facebook.
Right.
If you married, I'm married on
Mm,
Facebook. That doesn't really matter that much to me. But changing your status, you can post pictures, do happy anniversaries, all types of stuff, and that is
Mm,
not gonna stop anything. I promise
true.
you, people still be trying to slide me little pics until they get cussed out. Then they understand I'm not the one. I'm not that person. You got to find somebody else for that. That ain't me.
Yeah.
But it don't stop
Less
nothing.
is always more. That is always going to be more. Less is always more.
No, less is less.
Mofo in the house.
What's up? I'm just waiting on my turn, yo.
Hey,
Your
I'm waiting
there
on
you
turn.
my
go.
turn, yo.
Keep it short and sweet, sweetie.
I'm not short and sweet, so I can't keep it short and sweet. I need to know a question because I just came in on the ass end. It sounds like y'all talking about putting your business up there on Facebook.
Well, that was like a layer off of another question. So Lakia asked about the statuses on Facebook. Well, Lakia, you can tell her what your actual question was. 'Cause
I was just asking, like, what did everybody think about changing your status on Facebook to being in a relationship? If it's something that should be, or that should be done or not, and if it's important or not important.
Well, I mean, everybody has their own way to do things. I just know that there are certain times that I don't want people in my business, so I'm not gonna put my business up there. For me, that's that is it's a personal choice. If something now, if we know what it helps or what it hurts, nothing. You got the same choice of people cheating or trying to contact you with a single status as you do with a married status. So that comes down to your ego and who you're trying to prove it to. For me, because here's the thing: married people can put that they single up there. Single people can put that they married up there. So since you can lie on that, it's not important to me. If I can't, it's just not. I don't. For me, I don't put a whole bunch of importance on the things that I see on social media because again, we complain that we don't want people in our business, but we show put a whole lot of it out there. So that's just
Indeed.
where
true
I'm
that.
at.
True
So
that.
I'm going to take this moment and I'm going to make my exit, ladies and gentlemen. I do have something else I need to attend to. See y'all next week. And
All
I'll
right.
just
Bye, lovely.
All right. Be
bye bye.
good. Be
Today
safe.
I'll
Thanks
close.
for joining us.
I'll close with my usual "To Thine Own Self Be True."
All right. Appreciate it. Much
No
love. All right.
much love.
Woo. All right. Now and the thing, we're not going to get through this quiz. We're not going to get through anything, but I don't mind that. I just want to move on to this next one. Women's not next question. Women should always end the initial date first. 40% said true, 60% said false. So what's your take on that? Like,
I don't really know what it means. What does that mean that a
well,
woman
in the
should
date, like
end the
at a
date?
certain point, a woman may say, "All right, now, all right, now, we have fun. I got to get ready to go. I got kids at home. I got to work in the morning or whatever." They close out the date
what
because
date are
Don't do
we
that.
on for?
What difference do it make?
Like dudes
Why?
probably
this
have
is
a
the
lot.
initial the initial first date.
Oh, it depends on how it's going. If I think it's interesting or it's not. If it's not interesting, I gotta go let my dogs out.
But why do we gotta end it? I don't understand it.
Because remember, I said this certain book, the rules. These women are talking about how to date to end up being married, and you have to have rules that you go by in order to fulfill that ultimate goal. If you just nilly willy and just go with the flow and say, and the guy ended, you know how he wants to end it. You know what it is. You know what it is.
So are y'all
It's up
saying
to
that we
her to
should end
say,
it?
I'm not interested.
I'm asking guys, are you guys saying that we should end it because we
No,
already assume what you want? Like you
no,
know.
it could be a guy. I could if it ain't hitting on nothing, I'm like, oh, this shit is horrible.
So, but what I'm saying is that's
I'm
the
gonna
only
end it. But
way that you would want
they
to
were
end the
saying that
first
women
date.
should always end it first.
Well, I don't. I've never really given any thought. So let's talk about my first. I had a first date a few times. We go to a restaurant, we finish eating, we drive home, and either they walking me to my door and giving me a kiss on the cheek and leaving, or I'm inviting them in. So I guess you could say that that's me having the decision on whether the date ends, but it doesn't. I'm not basing that on if the date went wrong. And to me, a wonderful date is a date, like I said, that can end at the door, a kiss on the cheek or on the lips, if that's what we're feeling, and the anticipation of hearing from that person whenever I'm going to hear from them. So I don't have to end a date just because it went wrong. So, I mean, I guess so. I've just never really thought about it that way. But
Yeah,
as it being a rule, like that's stupid. Like
it
in a
can
minute, it's going to be rules
it
for
can
how
be a
you tie your
pleasant
shoe
date.
when you go on the date. If you want to get married, well, tie your shoe this way. Well, okay. But I think that's a minuscule thing that now we're to the point where we're putting a rule on on who has to end the date. Like I've just never thought of it in that way. So I mean, let them do what they do. Then what y'all think?
How
Because
to catch a man.
that's just weird to me
No, and
that
if
we're
you think
thinking about
about it, if
that.
you think about it, the date doesn't have to be a bad date. It could be a good date, but you can know, I got him. I got him. I got him enough, whatever. Then now I'm about to walk away. He's all into me, and I'm going to end it right now, knowing that he's going to call, he's going to be on point, or whatever case, because he's going to be ready to see me again.
Are we saying
So,
that guys
In
don't
other
do that?
words, ending on a cliffhanger.
Because I know
pretty
that
much,
guys do that too. I got her. She got to leave right now. So I believe that everybody does
That
that
can
to
go
some
either
extent.
way.
It's
but
some
I guess
guys that do
she was
actually,
speaking for women. I guess she was speaking for women. There were two women there who wrote this book.
yeah.
What book is
Okay.
that?
I mean, I understand where they're
Hold on.
coming
Are those
from,
two women
but it's
married? Did those two
Yeah,
women get
all
are they
the
The book
rules.
married?
is like How to Catch a Man, something like that.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
Somebody read it and do it and tell me how it works out.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's a lot of things. It's a
I'm
lot
quite
of
sure
things that I
that
would read a
that
book to get direction on. A lot of stuff, but how to interact with somebody else, I can't. Y'all hated men hated Steve Harvey's book on For a Woman on How to Catch a Man, but now we're reading this. For me,
I read all of them. So
I'm not looking for um instruction in that. I feel like I have a good handle, but I guess for chicks that don't have a good handle, I mean, I guess that would be beneficial.
know what it makes for? Just good conversation. I'm not saying
Yeah.
like, oh, this is the all end all be all
Well, no,
or
you're
whatever the
not saying
case
it, but
is.
that book is. That book
Well, they
is
of
here.
course
Here's how you catch a man. Yeah,
they want
okay,
people to
honey.
buy it. That's their
That's
brand.
yeah,
They
well.
just
want
so
people to
This is why
buy
I
it.
said I want somebody to do what they say, what they see in that book, and just tell me how it works out. It may work great.
just so people
Right?
just so people are aware, this book is written as a self-help book, and people don't realize how lucrative a market that is.
Yeah, we do.
There's a lot of weak people out there. A lot of people with low self-esteem that feel like they can't do anything without somebody else telling them how to do it.
Well, I don't even know if it's necessarily weak self-esteem so much as people searching for answers, because a lot of people, they just simply put, they don't have the tools. They were never taught. They never got the chance to use them, or they just unsure themselves. And in that regard, with them being unsure of themselves, you can say, yeah, they're weak. But
I mean, when it comes to
actually
dating,
weak?
you just got to put your foot in the pond and go ahead on and do it. I mean,
And
come
that's
on.
my
Hey,
Can't nobody
there we
teach you how to date any
how
one
to
man because
date.
they're not
Like,
all the same. So you can't, there is
thank
no
you, babe.
Well,
cookie cutter.
if you got a bad
dating.
track
Like,
record in doing it,
that's
shit,
for
ain't that the
you.
definition of insanity? When you keep doing
Yeah.
something, keep doing the same thing, keep dating the
I
same
mean,
way, keep
dating
getting the
is a
same
hit or miss.
results.
How many bad girlfriends have you had, in your entire dating history, or bad boyfriends? I'm sure
Well,
it's more than one. Otherwise, we would all each only have one man, one woman in our life. It's hit or miss. You learn along the way, and hopefully, the mistakes you made in the prior relationship, you learn from it. It won't make them in the next. You might find something new, but you learn from it and keep it moving. But why the fuck would you want to read a book on how to date a man when you don't know that man? You don't
Okay.
even know.
you know
Okay.
what? This is,
Okay.
I'll say this.
I
Can I?
have, hold
It's
on.
not like a cookbook for a meal.
I would.
You trying to tell me
Y'all
how to
funny.
date
Y'all funny.
you, and they don't know shit about you.
Y'all
So
funny.
how can you tell
So
me what's gonna work?
you gonna listen to your, not you per se, your raggedy ass girlfriend and your family members that you keep getting advice from after every failing relationship, and then you decide, someone else decide to say, screw them. They keep giving me bad advice. So I started reading this book. I tried it. It's working. Everything is working. So
We
I don't
said
know.
I said I want somebody to try it and tell me how it works out. I just don't think that it can
I'm
be
not
a
trying to
definite
promote
on
this
how
book, whatever.
it.
I'm just saying it's
I
good
just don't
information.
think that there can be a definite on this is how you do it because of just what Rebecca said. This is how they did it with the men that they ended up marrying. We don't know, you don't know what
Okay.
type of person you're dealing with. So to give a set of instructions, again, you follow people's advice, they're going to live their life. So that's why I said I'm not knocking the book. I'm not. I answered the question for myself, but I would love to see anyone else that reads the book and tries some of the stuff in it, and just how does it work? Because there's may be some valid things in there. On a woman having to end the date all the time, I think that that's a woman that's giving herself, and this may come off wrong, and if it does, fuck it, here we are. I feel like that's a woman giving she too much up in here on herself, because to say that we have to end the date every time, like I just don't
Said
get that.
first date. First date.
Well, she
What we
dating
got?
to get married, so how many first dates she plan on having? So the second date she should let him in. Is that what she's saying? Does she say that
I
in the
guess it's
book?
a
Or
process through it out. Yeah, she talked about the second, third date, but I know that Lakia and Frolic T had their hands up. I think Lakia was
And
trying to
Anita
chime in
too.
before.
So go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead, Brolic T, Anita. Yeah, I can go.
I think books. I think it's interesting to read books. It's not like a set rules that you have to follow, but it is interesting because you may not have thought about that aspect that you're doing wrong. Like I have a book called 7 Levels of Intimacy. It's really interesting. I never thought about intimacy as anything other than,
sex?
right.
You didn't. You couldn't
And
come
like,
up with that word.
no, I was trying to finesse the situation. Like not just sex, like intimacy, not just sex, but like touch and feel and being physical with each other. But intellectual intimacy is different. But when we say intimacy, everybody just jumps to the conclusion of sex. So I do think that you can learn a lot from reading self-help books. And it's not like a end all be all kind of rules that you have to follow, but it is interesting to get other points of view and maybe it's some education that I don't know about, like psychology and interpersonal relationships. So for me, I think books are interesting. I'm a big nerd. I read books. So that's my
She
take
said, "I
on it.
read.
And
I
on
read books."
well, no, because a lot of people don't broaden their horizons with books and with knowledge that other people have, and maybe it might be an experience similar to the experience that I had that I can learn from. That my girlfriends will give me some crazy girl. What are you doing? Like some craziness about it. But I think books are. I think that self-help books are good. And just because it's a first date doesn't mean the woman always has to end the date. I don't know where that came from, but if the date isn't good going as planned and I think I'm not
I guess
interested in this person, I will end the
I,
date. Like,
I guess it's meaning keep them wanting you, keep them interested. End it so that you can have that second date. Because if he, after the first date, if he decides to end it and he get that work, that may be the end all be all right there. That may be the
But see,
ultimate
what
thing.
if next week a woman comes out with her book about how she got her husband after she stood dude on the first date?
I'm
See what
just
I'm
telling
saying?
you
It's
what they
all
said.
subjective. What you getting
Yeah.
all offended for? I was
And
just
that's all I was gonna say is that a self-help book is nothing more than a book of suggestions. I tried this, this worked for me, maybe it will work for you. You can read it, you can apply it to your life, maybe it will work for you, maybe it won't. But I'm sharing my experiences. That's all it is. Self-help books are just books of suggestions. It's like, hey, this has worked for some other people. If you try it, maybe it will work for you. It's a hit or miss situation. A woman can end a date on the first date, and the dude might be like, she was cool, but she's not my cup of tea, and never call her again. She could also end the date, and he'd be like, hey, I really like her. You know what? And she stood her ground. I kissed her, and she still didn't invite me in. I'm going to give her a call. I'm going to set up another date. It can go either way.
she could end the date and he could hide in her bushes. Like all kinds of stuff can happen. Like it's damn.
That's true. That's
The
true.
hell?
Too.
On the
That's true.
first date, I don't
It's a
think I
whole
want
bunch of
him to know
stuff.
where I live.
Pretty much.
You know,
We
A
meeting
whole
up
bunch of
somewhere, and
stuff.
I'm going home my own way, and you going your way.
so wait, let me ask this question. What time did you say you were ending this broadcast, David?
10:30.
Oh, okay. Because I just wanted to touch base, not being funny, but I don't know if anybody heard Herbert's news. And I just wanted to hear it clearly, if possible, before we get off this broadcast, because I thought it was great news, and I just wanted to kind of hear it again, if he's willing to share.
Listen to the rebroadcast.
So I'll tell you, ladies, what he said.
Listen,
Since he wants to now go into the replay.
Know.
Okay. Does anyone want to know other than anyone else? Anyone?
I'll catch it on the
My mom said she want to know. I don't really care.
Wow. Wow. Congratulations, Herb.
Herb is having a baby.
Is it fur
Don't look
babies?
too happy.
Real
No, Herb
human
actually has
babies.
a woman that he cares for
A
with
fur
child. He is having a
How does this
child
No,
with
I wasn't
another
making
young woman,
fun.
with a woman.
I wasn't making
Okay,
fun,
what
but
I
it
missed?
was April Fool's Day.
It was no, he's
And he
serious.
does have a
So I
cat.
think we should say congratulations because I was being
I
funny.
think it's
I mean,
exciting.
congratulations.
I thought it was
He don't look
a
very
cat,
happy
but he was
about it, but
serious, and I'm very
What I
happy to
missed?
hear that.
What I missed?
I just want to give you my sincere congratulations, Herb, that
Fur baby.
you met someone, you're having a child together, you're thinking of marriage down the line, cohabitating, blended families. I heard you use the word blended families. So you're coming together. I believe that's awesome. And it shows so much about your personality that we did not know. I did not know. Let's just say. I speak for myself.
Blended families. That sounds interesting.
What I missed?
I
What did
ain't taking no
miss?
shots. Congratulations. He don't
I'm
look
not
very
taking
happy
shots.
to be expecting a child, but congratulations anyway. I mean, congratulations. I'm being real. He don't look happy about it, but
It's
congratulations.
exciting. I'm excited for you, Herb. I'm excited.
I'm still laughing at fur baby.
No, I wasn't being like
He
ignorant
look
about
real
it.
pissed.
I wasn't being trying to be ignorant about it. I was just wondering if he was joking or he was serious.
He was serious.
He said, watch the broadcast. So I'm gonna leave it at that. Oh man. All right. Y'all ready to move? Y'all ready to move on? Move on. We got
Yes.
Next
17.
question.
Please.
Oh, let me pull it up. You know, my phone on the timer for them critters. Y'all funny.
I thought it was great news.
Y'all can carry on with your conversation till here we go. Here we go. Here we go. So we said women should end the date first. The next question is, if a
It got
man,
awfully damn quiet in here. What did y'all do?
We waiting on Dave.
If a man does
Next
not
I'm just
get,
waiting on David.
if a man does not get a romantic gift like jewelry on your birthday or any other significant occasion, it's a clear indication that he is not into you. A, true. 20% said it's true, and B, false. 80% said it was false. So what's y'all take on gifts and all that stuff when you're dating? Is it a certain time frame? Is it certain gifts you're looking for? And you say to yourself, oh, this dude gave me a trinket and we've been together for a year. Like he's really not into you, or it doesn't matter. What's y'all take on that as far as gifts? Oh, we're gonna start
I've
off with
never
Herb.
measured
Herb's
my
been
gift.
quiet. We're gonna start off with Herb. Herb, what's your take on this?
I only do gifts on birthdays. So Christmas, Valentine's Day, all those other holidays, they're out the door as far as I'm concerned.
So on birthdays, what would you do as far as that?
It would be personalized, so it's going to depend on the individual.
Okay. Anybody else?
Who is laughing in the background?
I don't I've never gauged my gifts like that. For me, I feel like be lucky that a motherfucker getting you anything. I feel like when you start talking about, well, this gift signifies that he cares this much, I feel like that's a materialistic person because it's really not about the gift. It's more so about the thought for me. The fact that this person was even thinking about me while we weren't even together. It was going on with their life, going on with work, doing what they were doing, and saw something that maybe they thought that I would like and got it. I don't really care what it is. So for me, when a person starts putting a value of someone's emotional state into the kind of gift they give, that's a materialistic person for me. I don't judge gifts that way. I'm appreciative of thought more so. Now, a Christmas gift, I'm a very good gift giver. There is a such thing as a jacked ass gift. There's a such thing as a gift with no thought. And those are the ones that are on those special occasions. A lot of time, if somebody gives me a gift for my birthday and it's some fucking dishes or some shit, we're going to have a problem.
You
A
gotta eat,
vacuum
right?
Now, if
cleaner.
you just
Need
give
something to
me,
eat off of.
right, but if you just give me something, just hey, I was here and I like this design or something, that's different. But no, don't because, and it's like I said, it's strictly because I'm a really good gift giver. I'm always thinking about what that person likes. I take the time to figure that out. So, but other than that, no, I'm not putting that as a stake on how much they care about me or how much they're interested. In fact, they spending money on you when we know that motherfuckers can be tight with $1. For me, it's on the okay, thank you.
Okay. Anybody else?
I mean, I agree with her. I'm a good gift giver too, but I will say that the gift that I give is saying something about how I feel about you. I'm not gonna lie and say that it doesn't, but I'm with her. I'm a good gift giver, and random gifts is a random gift. I don't put whether or not he likes me or how much he likes me um, on a random gift. I'm like her though. On my birthday, I want what I want. I want what I want because I'm gonna give you what you want. Mother's Day is another one for me. One year they got me a deep freezer, and I was just so mad
Girl,
about that because to me that's a gift for the family. That's not a gift for me.
That's an
you can't
And
ban
excellent
the
them
only
gift.
from your
reason it
deep
That's
was
an
bought
freezer.
was
excellent
because
gift.
yeah, the
You
only reason
can't
it was
ban them
bought
from
it
your
was
deep
because he
freezer.
wanted to be able to store his fish, somewhere, and that's not a gift for me. And he probably had to go back to the store. I was like, that can stay, but I need my Mother's Day gift for me. And and
The deep freezer
the
treat
same
you
went for
bad.
him on Father's Day. He got a nice grill. It was for him because I'm not allowed to use it because I can't use it. But I'm with her. I put a lot of thought into my gifts. I pay attention. and I try to give gifts accordingly, but I don't necessarily put a value. If it's a Wednesday and you send me red roses and my favorites are yellow, I'm still gonna love
I'm
those roses
appreciative of the
because
roses.
you pulled out your credit card and whatever you spent on that gift, you know, you thought enough of me to
Or
spend that amount of money.
or he got
So
him off the side of the road.
whatever, he
I
still
don't
got them
care.
and gave them
He
to
got
me.
out his car. He got them
I'm
gators in the
picky to
dirt. He
myself,
picked them out.
which
I'm
is
good.
why if there's something I really want, I will buy it and wrap that shit up and put it underneath the Christmas tree, and it'll say from Santa. I have done that on many occasions. I don't expect anybody to spoil me but me. So if somebody decides to do that, to me, that's just a plus. You know, at the end of the day, but you can't buy me a deep freezer. You can't do
I
that.
mean, I don't know if I expect to get spoiled, but
Girl,
your
I
treatment
was
is gonna be so much better if
crunchy.
I am. Like,
Yeah,
that's a you thing.
I'm not gonna lie. I
So,
was
okay.
hot when I opened up the garage and I saw a deep freezer standing there. I was just like, where's my gift? Because that's not my gift. I don't tell me that's my
Wow.
gift. 'Cause
Wow.
I
Imagine somebody
rebuked
bringing
it.
a box into your house like
You
2
know,
days
I
before
had to
Christmas,
rebuke
and
that,
they're like,
but
don't you open it now.
yeah,
Don't you open it. Don't you open it to Christmas. And I opened that bitch up and it was some ugly dishes. Not even cute dishes.
yeah,
Ugly dishes. You know, the ones that you
you
get at the
know.
next when there's nothing else
But if
because
he
they
ain't got no
forgot to get
taste,
you a
you
gift.
know,
Yeah,
you can
nah.
expect stuff like that. But you know, I wholeheartedly agree. I don't think just a random gift should be an indication of what he feels about you or what she feels about them. Um, but on your special day, your birthday, I think it says a lot. And it doesn't have to be an expensive gift. I'm not saying the amount of money. I'm just saying choice of gift um, might be an indication that he put some thought into it. Not that he doesn't love you or like you. Again, some people just aren't good at picking out gifts. But you know, it's
All
that.
right. Anybody else
Some
on this question?
sometimes a gift don't even match what he feels. For an example, it could be a pity gift. For an example, last year in February, right before Valentine's Day, I had a heart attack and I was dating this jackass. And the night I had a heart attack, I walked in and he was sitting with some other girl an hour and a half after I cooked him dinner. And we had discussed that we weren't seeing anybody else. And I went a little cray cray and then I had a heart attack. Well, when I was in the hospital, he gave me this, those keys that have like a heart on it
Girl,
for a
shut your face.
necklace.
Girl, shut
No,
your face.
I'm serious. He did.
He
And I was
brought a
like,
key. He bought a heart with a key to the hospital after you
After you
had a
had a
heart
heart
attack.
attack.
After seeing him with
After
another
your
chick.
heart tried to explode.
yes.
It's gotta,
Yeah, yes.
that's gotta be the most insensitive gift I've ever heard in my life. That is a total
And
All
jackass
right. I
for
should
you.
laugh. I should
yeah,
laugh.
no,
Yes,
it's
you
funny
should, 'cause
now
it's funny.
because
It's funny.
it's funny now, but I found out days prior he was on a date with that woman again for the first time. The next day, we took him and his 4-year-old son, we went to the mall and he was like, "Go take my son to the donut shop or whatever." And that's when he was buying my gift. And then like I was kind of cool when I found out that I just went in there and I sat down beside him. I didn't yell, I didn't stab him with a dirty fork or anything. I was just like cool as ice. I was like, because you can get, I was just cool as ice. And I was like, "Hey, what's up? What you doing here?" And he was like, "What are you doing here?" I know, I
Having a
don't,
heart attack. You having a heart attack.
yeah. And then,
Rita.
yeah, it was a
And a
crazy.
dirty
And then he had the audacity to bring that gift to the hospital. No,
You had the key to his heart. That's what he was
I'm
saying.
sure. Yeah, I'm sure I did. I was like, "I don't want this. I never even wore it." I was like, "This is crazy."
That's funny.
Yeah, it's funny now. It wasn't funny.
No, I'm sure it wasn't.
Yeah, that's the night I had my massive heart attack. I was so crazy.
Glad you survived it, because that could have tipped you over the edge right there.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, well,
Listen, good people.
So my
Volunteer.
point was a gift doesn't always say something. That was like a crazy ass shit.
No,
And I guess it depends. I guess it depends on the individual. Me, I'm more about memories and good times and laughter. So something physical, it may not. Like if somebody said, "Oh, we're going here, whatever, for your birthday," and we laughed, we had a good time, and we enjoyed it. That's gonna mean more to me than something, a physical gift or whatever the case is. Because sometimes it's about memories and stuff for me, and that's what I enjoy because I like. To me, I'm a storyteller. I like telling stories, putting stuff out there. So that's important to me. You could get a watch. You can get a hat. Oh, wait a minute, a hat. That might be something different. That might be something special to me.
Right. Somebody bring you a brim, dude. You know good and well. You gonna keep her around a little bit longer if she bring you a nice brim. Especially if it's one that you would have really liked. If it looks like she took some time to pick it out. If it don't look like she went to the thrift store and went through that bin and shit. If it looks like she went and actually like some thought like, nah, that's a memory right there. And that's the story. So, it's done in different ways, but I'm still tripping on the heart with the key after the heart attack. Okay, boo. Okay.
That was crazy, right?
I'd have threw it right across the room.
What the hell is that you showing her?
This was a rare birthday gift that was presented to me about a month or so ago. Now, the individual that presented to me understands my love of astronomy. And so what it is it's a glass ball with etchings of the solar system inside. It's about 3.5, maybe 4 inches in diameter. And I absolutely love it because one, it's crystal. Two, like I said, it displays the one thing I like about space and astronomy. So this is, when people talk about gifts, what are you actually giving? Are you giving something that is going to be specific to the person that they're going to love? Or are you just giving something just because you feel obligated? This individual understood me and took the time to pick out something that was personalized. And this is what I talk about. I'm a phenomenal gift giver because I understand the individual that I'm presenting something to. A lot of people, just like Saria said, a lot of people either Saria or Rebecca said, a lot of people are terrible gift givers, and that's because they don't listen. They give what they think another individual would want. And I will tell you now, that's the quickest way to piss somebody off.
Most of the time, they give what they would want. Like Beck said, she got a deep freezer so that dude could store his fish. So that's not even a gift for her. That's just a gift. He just presented it to her. So that's like somebody giving you a bowling ball and saying, "Hey, let's go bowling. I love to bowl." And then they give you a bowling ball
absolutely.
for your birthday.
If you like to bowl and that ball, and let's look at it like this, Saria. If you love to bowl and that ball is your favorite color with the holes drilled just for you.
That's not what I said. That's not what I said. I said they love to bowl, but they give me
so they
the
buy
bowling
you
ball
a bowling ball
and say,
no. I understand that. That's why I said that. That's why I said if you like to bowl.
That would be
because I wouldn't do that. It's a waste of gift.
Then a bowling ball would be beautiful. But most people, which was the point I'm making, is that I don't like to bowl, but they give you gifts according to what they like. He needed a deep freezer. He needed a place to store his fish.
Yeah.
And so he presented her with a deep freezer. She ain't asked for no deep freezer, probably didn't need no. Could have just brought that and said, "Hey, this is where I'm gonna put my fish. Don't put no bowl on no damn deep freezer. That's really for you.
That's the equivalent
for me."
That's the equivalent
of the bowling ball in the deep freezer in the dog.
Put the bowling ball in the deep freezer with the dog with a bow on it. How about that?
That's the equivalent of the husband buying a wife a new vacuum.
Well, now I'm not against getting a vacuum cleaner because
If I ask for a vacuum, give me a
I will
vacuum,
use
but
that.
not
He
as a
bought me a
Christmas gift
vacuum
and
cleaner, but he
not.
bought me a Kirby, so I was all about
I've
that
had
life.
somebody buy. Listen, I've had somebody
Yeah, I
buy me a
was
vacuum
about that
cleaner.
life.
You know what day it was?
But it wasn't a
Tuesday.
Christmas gift. It was
It was
just a
I
Tuesday.
Saturday
got one as a
afternoon.
housewarming
The
gift,
guy was
not
standing
and
at
no
the
other
door.
reason.
Right.
Yeah, and he wanted him out of my
Right.
house so bad that he paid for
Right.
the vacuum cleaner, and I was totally fine with that. But the deep freezer was a whole nother just raggedy ass ordeal. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Girl, that
Raleigh,
shit
see,
is
you
still
ain't saying nothing
sitting out
about the
there.
gifts. What's up with your gift giving? What you feel about these gifts?
He just said he
What
liked
you feel
memories.
about it? No, I said Brolic T. What
Oh,
you feel about
I mean,
about
I'm the type of person, I don't really look for gifts. If I get a gift, I appreciate it and all that stuff. I'm the type of person that I only date people who show me love all the time, so that when I get a gift, it makes it
that
extra
part?
special. Like, I date somebody who shows me love all the time. If you're not a person who shows me love all the time, then I'm not gonna date you.
Girl, I'm
Because
trying to
then
give
you
you
put
the
me,
high five. Like,
then you put me
why
in
is it
situations where
dating
I feel
people that
like
we got
on
questions about?
holidays you gotta go above and beyond because you're not showing me affection any other time. So I stopped dating people who don't show me love all the time. And that's my
High
thing. If you're
five.
not somebody who
High
shows me love all the
five.
time, you know, and I'm a perfect gift giver because I make it my business to know the people that are around me. So when I give a gift, it is something that is always personalized. It's something that I know this person will love, something that they will cherish, and something that they will keep. Like my mom, we all know that she's a big fan of jewelry. My siblings and I have decided to stop buying her jewelry though because she has so much and she really doesn't have that many occasions to wear it on. So it's like she's got this jewelry box full of jewelry from over the years that she wears one or two pieces every now and then when she has somewhere to go. And we're like, well, damn, we bought you all this jewelry for nothing. So now we just buy her other stuff. We started buying her appliances because she likes to cook. And we're like, well, hell, you don't use half these appliances. It's like, what do you give somebody who has every damn thing? Because my mom is one of those people who likes to shop.
girl,
She buys her
I
own
could
shit. She
not
only goes
give
to
enough
spend
If
on
she
granny
likes to
money
anybody.
to
shop,
my
you give her. If
grandmother.
she likes to
Yeah.
shop, you give her some
So
money
we give her money.
so she can
Exactly.
get her
We give her
own
money
stuff.
and let her go do
If
what
she
she
likes
wants.
to shop, yeah, that's it.
We
If
just
they
give her
like to
Go
money and
shop,
gift
wrong with
cards.
give
Here
money.
you
them
go.
Never
money.
could go wrong with money. But listen,
Yep.
gang, we about to get out of here. So we about to go into the closing statements. I might bring this back up on the rest of this survey for Thursday because it's a lot of work. I think we got to like question number 4. So I might. It depends. I'll see what I got going on in cocktail conversations, but may bring it back up. But we about to get out of here with closing statements because I'm gonna watch the end of this March Madness because this game then got real tight. Girly girl, they only down by 10 now.
Yeah, I
Who?
see. They ain't gonna make
Gonzaga.
that up. They can
Oh, they
forget
gonna make
that.
Oh,
it.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah, they not gonna
I
make
So,
saw
that up.
that game against
so
UCLA.
oh, that was one of the best games ever. All right, but
Baylor
quickly,
got too much fun.
hey, you going with Baylor
Don't
because
be
it's
going
Texas
against them
bound.
curves in the
No, I'm
gray
not.
area. God's
I'm
Mm.
not
peace
cheering for
this
either
time.
team. They're just
All
not
right,
good.
Herb gave his. Congratulations, Herb. Herb Jr., Herbina.
It's gonna be a girl, that's for sure.
Who wants to
Hopefully.
go next? Look here. Why you gotta call my name? Who?
Unmute
Are you
yourself.
talking, babe?
I am talking. I was muted because I was
Oh,
I was making noise over here. I'm working. Oh, working and listening. Um, okay. Well, this is one quote that I saw today. The most important thing is to enjoy your life. To be happy is all that matters. So whatever we do, enjoy it.
Hey, have you? Well, why do it if you ain't gonna enjoy it? Agreeable. Raleigh T.
Don't nothing hurt but a lick.
I knew she was coming with that. I knew it. All right, I'll take it. I'll take it. Girly girl.
Take care of your shit over there because I'm taking care of mine over here.
Okay. Mofo.
Y'all know what it is. Check yourself more than you check other people. Your life open up. Fair exchange is no robbery, so stop being a thief up in this bitch. And right now, hey, karma gets you every time, yo. Watch yourself.
Uh-huh.
All right.
Yep.
Anita.
Oh, and eat adult.
I don't have much to say, but I have this little phone holder. It says, I don't know if you guys can read it. Oops. It says,
Read
I
it
think
to
I'll
us.
just be happy today.
Okay. One day at a time.
That's cute.
Yeah, one day at a time, because my life has been like so crazy the past year and a half. So I got to take one day at a time, one step at a time. And anyway,
All right.
Good night.
And for me, again, there's no cookie cutter approach as far as dating and complications. As you can see, there's so many things you have to think about. It's nothing is given. We have to try different things. We may have to reinvent ourselves and be more creative. But at the end of the day, you got to be true to who you are, and also know your personnel, or get to know your personnel, and just go from there. And I'm gonna keep it short and sweet. Typically, I go on, but I got March Madness going on right now, and I got 200 kids that's gonna be like, Mr. Glover, what's good? So I got to be ready for them. I got to be on time, because sometimes I just be dragging, just barely making it in. Be rolling up in the parking lot and hoping some other teachers is dragging with me, because other than that, be like, here you go. One of the last ones in here. But I'll say this: I may be one of the last ones rolling in. I'm not a starter, the early person, but I'm damn sure the closer. They can count on me at the end of the day when everybody trying to run out the building. I'm gonna be there at the end. So that's where we're at, good people. Appreciate you all. Stay tuned for Thursday segment. We might run it back and continue this survey, or we might come with a scenario and then implement the survey and as well. So I appreciate y'all. Thank you all, and everybody have a good night and enjoy the rest of your work
Good
week. See
night.
y'all on Thursday, and
night.
everybody be good, be great, whatever
Good
you gotta
night.
do. Good
good
night,
night.
everybody.
Night.